Oh my god.
Remaining.
I think that's the first time I've ever done that, guys.
5 seconds remaining.
I've been casted for a while, and that is, I believe that's the first time I've
time.
ever actually accidentally muted my mic. That's a little rough. Holy crap. When was the last thing I said? I've been talking for a while. Holy crap. Wow, so what did I say? I explained the tournament format. You guys obviously got that because you were responding.
10 seconds remaining.
Then what did I say after that? Jug. Alright. Muted right after you went into the picks? Oh my god, what a disaster. What a disaster. Oh, hey Mike, by the way. I switched scenes and then, oh my goodness. God, that's bad. We're gonna have a pause here. That's gonna allow me to send out this tweet and get everything sorted, and we'll actually look like we know what we're doing here. Who do we got? Evil Empire versus, what was this other team's name? Salt Another Day? Sorry for my loud typing. Holy crap, what the heck? I said so much stuff, guys. Alright, tweet sent. Alright. So let's introduce our teams and our players, and I'll get to a little bit more of what I was talking about. I guess I'll cover it again. But we've got Evil Empire once again. We saw them play our last game as actually getting a TP and a ward getting placed early on. We might actually have a decent game here. As our Radiant side is going to be Evil Empire. We saw them last game. So we've got Yuan 1. He's going to be playing the Gyrocopter. We got Alien Mana Banana. Probably the funnest name I've ever had to say. He's going to be playing the Queen of Pain. We've got Moving Target, who is involved in a lot of kills and a lot of action early on, playing the Clockwork last game. He's going to be playing the Doom this time around. We got Zephyr on the Lich, and Tom's going to be playing the Earthshaker. As for our dire side, it's Salt Another Day. We've got Juggernaut getting played by Check, Kappa Pride. We've got Zim going to be playing the Eventual Spirit. We got Snarf playing the Alchemist. Rib's going to be playing the Dazzle. And then all the way in the bottom lane, we've got Not So Fast Kaiba, or Madkus. I think his name is actually Madkus. So he's going to be playing our Slardar. It looks like we might... No, I don't think we're going to actually have a battle here for top rune. Is Moving Target and Zephyr are probably just going to move away from it. But Alchemist gets the bounty rune, so it gets a little bit closer towards getting that bottle picked up. But we're going to see probably one of the most hated lanes in Dota. It's the Doom Lich offlane. Just a little bit of blocking going up here, but what I was trying to tell you guys was talking a little bit about the qualifiers and how it was set up. I was talking a little bit about the format. I believe you guys heard all that. But then after that, I was talking more about kind of where we are in the tournament and the fact that we've got 4 days of casting. So the qualifiers, the open qualifiers are broken up into 2 different qualifiers. So we've got day 1 and 2 of qualifier 1, which is going to be today and tomorrow. As Tom going to fissure out from the trees here, going to trap the Slardar just slightly. Allows the Gyrocopter to get a little bit of damage in there, but Slardar is more than healthy enough to stay in lane. But yeah, so we've got today and tomorrow for the first America's qualifiers, open qualifiers, and then the next 2 days following that, we're going to have the second America's qualifiers. So the top team from each will advance into the the main Americas qualifiers, where they'll go up against some of the other teams I was talking about. Team Leviathan, Digital Chaos, Power of Friendship, although they may or may not be excluded because they made a roster change that may have been after the roster lock deadline. Grant kind of pointed some of that out. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. We've got Team Archon, Complexity, not today. Oh, I gotta cheat and look. Void Boys and Shazam. So Shazam is a new team with Brax, Mason, Ritsu, MSS, and SVG. Yeah, so once we finish these 4 days of these 2 open qualifiers, then we actually move into the main qualifiers, where it's going to be 3 days of the top team from each of these and those teams I just mentioned to determine who actually will go and represent the Americas region. But that's kind of the abbreviated thing of what I was talking about. I obviously talked about a lot more, but God, I had the mic muted. I can't believe I did that. I haven't done that my entire time casting. Yikes. Oh well. Lesson learned, I guess. But let's talk about our lanes here. So we've got, like I said, this super hated lane of Doom Lich off lane. They're going up against a Vengeful Spirit and a Juggernaut. The mid lane is going to be the Queen of Pain going up against an Alchemist. Bottom lane, we've already seen a little bit of action from the Earthshaker and the Gyrocopter going up against the offlane Slaughter. And we did not mention one of these heroes. It's Dazzle, who's kind of jungling. He's not really jungling, he's just kind of stacking, although he did just miss the stack there. But he's going to be making stacks in the jungle so that Alk can go and rotate in there and get some farm. As we can tell by the CS, that Alk is hurting. 2-0 right now is, oh my. The lane Mana Banana, we saw this last game, he kind of dominated his lane. He's dominating again, 15-6 CS compared to that 2-0. Which is now 4-0 as the Dazzle's made a rotation in here. So you got action in the top lane, moving target, he's popped his Scorch Earth, and he's just running at them. Jug starts spinning. But moving target, he's not afraid. He's just going to keep running at this Vengeful Spirit and keep smacking him with his sword. And will they dive the tower here? He needs one more attack to finish him off. They're going to switch targets and go on to the Jug, who will have to pop his magic stick. But I don't even know what that skill is called. The Shockwave comes out from the Doom to get our first blood there. But Doom will go down shortly after to the tower. But first blood does go to Evil Empire. We saw that last game as well. As Tom has picked up an Invision, and now he's going to sit camping in the mid lane as Snarf might be into troubles. Dazzle's going to rotate towards the jungle, or maybe not. Well, it's a little bit early for him to go and stack. But now Queen of Pain has just sipped her bottle, which is going back on the courier here, and now they're going to... Nice fissure block there coming out from Tom. Sonic Wave came in from the Queen of Pain. Ribs will now pop his Shallow Grave to try and keep himself alive, and it will be able to keep him alive, as now they're going to try to switch and go for the Alchemist. There was a Shadow Strike about to come out there, but Snarf just barely went around the trees and made it so that he wouldn't have vision to be able to cast there. And so far, a lot more of a passive start to the game than we saw last game, because we saw 4 kills for Evil Empire at the 4-minute mark. We're just sitting at 1-1 right now. But obviously, advantage, once again, going the way of Evil Empire. You've got the Gyrocopter free farming. He's sitting at 31-9 CS. Compare that to the safe laner, which we almost saw die earlier on, the Juggernaut. He's only at 14-3, so the Gyro almost tripling the Jug. As now Gyro is even going to get a kill in the bottom lane as they go on the Slardar, who obviously isn't doing as well as the Doom, as he's sitting at 3-0 and now a death. Whereas moving target, he's got a death, but he's also got a kill, which was first blood, and he's got a little bit more CS as well, as he's sitting at 16-3. As they're going to keep chasing down this Jug, who will have to spin to get away safely. But then they just switch to go to the Vengeful Spirit instead, and it's another kill for this duo off lane of Doom and Lich. And then we already mentioned the mid lane. That's going to be advantage for Evil Empire as well. Is they seem to have their early laning phase under control.
Is under attack.
As we saw them smash all their lanes last game, and now they're smashing all their lanes again. Tom gets another fissure off, but no, it's not going to be... I think even if that actually blocked the slaughter, it's still only like a little bit of a stun and just a slight detour for him to get back to the safety of his tower. There's no way that the gyro is going to go for that. It's way too risky for a gyro that's free farming. With this, Zephyr going to dive the tier 1, going to run right past it. Check actually went and hid in the trees. Smart play there from the Jug. There's action in the mid lane as we're going to man up here as Alien Mana Banana gets the kill on the Alchemist, but he's going to go down to the Dazzle, but there comes Tom, throws down the Fissure, finishes off that Dazzle. So it is a 1 for 2, probably not the way that the Queen of Pain had envisioned it, but she does get the kill on the Alch, although we fortunately missed that on camera. T-Tours, not surprising for me. Oh, they're going to blow up this Juggernaut. Is he going to spin? Once again, popping that stick. It only brings him up to 100 HP. But once again, will be enough. They just don't have enough follow-up damage to finish him up. Now he'll use his Healing Ward to get himself back up. Let's take a look at the skill build. He has maxing spin. And 1 point in that Healing Ward. Still not level 6. The moving target's about to hit 6, so they're going to have Doom online soon. Already got 6 on the Lich, and there comes the Chain Frost. It's going to bounce around. It's going to keep bouncing to this Jug. Will bounce back to him, but he did get the spin off, so that last bounce from the Chain Frost not going to do enough to finish him off. As the Shockwave, drops him down to 9. Yes, it did force some TPs. The Venge actually smartly had to go up into the trees here and hide. And then when she TP'd, she actually didn't TP back to Fountain, although she was on low life. She TP'd to the tier 2 to try and help out her Jug who was running away. So slight plays that, you know, they just kind of seem like a little thing, but they can go a long way to turning things around. Maybe if it was just the Dazzle TPing in, they would have considered continuing diving after the Jug. But with all of a sudden the Venge there, they thought better of it. Snarf continues to struggle in this mid lane, but now they're going to go on the offensive, force Alien Mana Banana back. But take a look at this gold in this Alch. He's sitting at 300 gold right now. He's just got Brown Boots, Magic Wand, and Bottle. This is, I mean, we're 9 minutes now. You look at 12 minutes or so is when we typically see mid-alchemists start picking up their relics and completing their radiances. He is nowhere near any of that. Not even sure if he's going to go with that build early, or this time. But Sonic Wave almost getting a kill there. Gyro now starting to get involved. He's got not only his level 6, he's already up to level 8. So that's time to go and fight on Gyro. And now they're going to start stealing these stacks. The stacks I was talking about earlier that were meant for the Alchemist. And a lot of this gold is going to the Gyro. Assault another day. They're a little mad at this Gyrocopter. They're going to try to chase him down. Looks like they will be able to get a kill. Alchemist with the final chop there will get the last hit. So the kill goes to him. But look at this, there's only the 2 big creeps left in that stack.
Dire's top tower is
We still haven't
attack.
seen a Doom come out from moving target
Dire's
yet.
structures are fortified.
This check always needs to be aware of that. Check actually just hit 6. Doesn't have enough mana for Omni Slash. He will get it now. So he just ticks up to 200 mana. $1,400 gold on Tom. So he's actually getting close to his blink dig. That would be a very early blink timing for an Earthshaker. Uh-oh. He's going to be in trouble here as Madkus going to rotate in behind him. Ribs is coming in as well. Slithering Crush will stun him up. He will be able to throw down the Fissure. He does have a TP, but he's not going to have anywhere near enough HP to try and TP out here. He will go down. Another Crush comes out from the Slaughter. We've got to dive in the top lanes. They're going to dive right past the tier 1 into the trees. They get the kill on the bench. There was a TP coming in, but it does get cancelled. And now they'll bring down that tier 1 tower.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So 2 kills go the way of Evil Empire while they were making that kill. And I should mention tier 1 tower. But while they were making that, we looked down in the bottom lane. We lost that Earthshaker. So still a very good trade, I'd say, for Evil Empire. It does set the Earthshaker back a little bit, but still, he's still kind of hovering around that same amount of gold. He didn't really lose anything because he got gold from the tower. Alk is going to get those 2 big creeps in the stack, but still way behind in terms of where you'd like to see an Alchemist at this point in the game. Slardar just now picked up his Tranquil Boots. Again, he's sitting at 600 gold. We're 11.5 minutes into this game. His Blink needs to be coming out soon. We're going to have the position 4, position 5, or position 4 Earthshaker getting closer to the Blink Dagger before this offlaner. This nice calldown is actually going to prevent any further aggression here, and I don't know why they kept going. But now Evil Empire is just going to run over them. We lost the Slardar, we lost the Venge, and now we're going to lose the Alchemist. Is there going to be any more? Doesn't look like it. His Ribs was starting to rotate up there, but quickly realized they're all dead. This isn't going to work. I shouldn't go up there and feed. And he doesn't. He backs away. Lift getting used quite early here. Tom's in the trees above Check. Are we going to have a TP in? It's always scary because Jug does have access to that Omni Slash. Check, just from that one fissure, so scared he's going to run and hide in the trees. He did have vision of the Queen of Pain and the Gyro as they were up at the top room thanks to this Observer Ward. So a little bit surprised that he's as scared as he is. But now he's going to TP up to the top, and are they going to get an opening here onto the Doom? It's a pretty tanky target. Is Venge going to be able to get in range? Getting close, getting close. No, actually, not that close. Is Doom with that move speed. He's got the drums, he's got the phase. So easy for him to run away. Let's take a look at our net worth. Look at the top 3, all on the side of Evil Empire. Pretty much exactly what we saw last game. But the thing that's most surprising is the fact that Dire's side has an Alchemist. It's a hero that you typically see dominating the net worth just because he's got Grievel's Greed, because he can get that extra farm, and because, you know, you donate one of your, or you sacrifice, I should say, one of your support heroes towards stacking camps so that the Al can get even more farm, because he needs more farm to be effective. That's why he's got Grievel's Greed. That's part of why the hero was designed that way. But we see him leading the team, but still quite a ways behind. He's 2,400 gold behind the Gyrocopter. He's 1,500 gold behind the Queen of Pain and the Doom. It's not a position you want to be in on the Alchemist. And looks like he's got his medallion completed, so he's going to be able to fight a little bit more. The medallion helps him do more damage with the Unstable Concoction because it is physical damage. And then even Acid Spray is physical as well. So he's going to be able to do more damage, and of course his right clicks. The medallion is going to help that, but of course you lose armor when you cast the medallion. So it's a little bit scary if all of a sudden Evil Empire just chooses to fight, but they actually don't have too much right-click damage. Gyrocopter, obviously the biggest source of right-click damage. Queen of Pain, a little bit of an underrated source of right-click damage as well. And I guess even Doom. But for the most part, at this stage in the game, a lot of it is their spells. Look at Gyrocopter. What is the scariest thing about him early on? It's his Q. It's his Rocket Barrage. That's the thing that's going to do the most damage. And it's the call down, which obviously does some burst damage as well, but that's what slows you so that he can get in there and get one Rocket Barrage off, and then 5.5 seconds later, he gets another one off. As you see a mid-tier 1 tower go down, as that's the last tier 1 tower for Salt Another Day. As Evil Empire getting access to that extra gold early on in the game, and now we've got Tom completing his Blink Dagger. We won't be able to see him up here in the top fight, as we got Doom getting used, cast on the Jug, forcing the Jug back, but also forcing out some TPs. Huge Chain Frost coming in. Ribs, oh my, just barely gets the heal off to survive the second chain, and then the Shallow Grave just barely comes off to survive the third. Check, Doom wears off, throws out the Omni Slash, gets a kill on the Doom. Zephyr, he had nowhere to go. He ends up running past the tier 2 tower and right into a Slardar. And Evil Empire maybe forced that a little bit too hard. Assault Another Day will pick up 2 kills. They're 12-6 now as they start to narrow the gap a little bit, but it's a long way to climb. And take a look at this gold graph. This is not what it looked like last game. It was a lot closer at this point in the game. We were around 4K, and now we're almost 12K lead for Evil Empire. They are a lot more ahead this game than they were last game. Although maybe it doesn't really feel like that because we haven't seen the crazy amount of kills that we saw last game. But definitely Salt Another Day, they're going to have to really find a way to claw back into this game as... Oh, okay, I'll have to point that out in just a second. was mad because gets picked off. He was, yeah, I paid top dollar for those boots. So he was standing there and I couldn't see his boots. I'm like, he picked up tranquils and I don't see them on the ground, but it was because the direction I was looking at, I couldn't see them on the ground behind the creep. So as I moved over, I actually saw them. And then because there's observer wards actually giving them vision, the radiant side vision, Alien Man of Banana blinks in and just right clicks or actually A clicks the boots on the ground. So he destroys Slardar's boots before killing him. So Slardar actually doesn't have boots. He has to buy another set of tranquil boots, sets him back another 1,000 gold from getting his blink dagger. Assault another day. They're ready to fight here. 5-man charging uphill at their opponent here. The Chain Frost bounces a few times and then fizzles as Tom jumps in with the Earthshaker, gets a good Echo Slam off, but not enough to bring anyone down. But here comes the Gyro. Now they start following. 4 heroes down. The only one left alive is Zim, who's going to try and run, but Alien Man of Banana, will he dive past the tier 3 here, past the tier 4s, and all the way to the fountain? I think the answer is yes, as the Vengeful Spirit will go down. It's a full 5-man wipe, as the Queen of Pain is now unstoppable. The fight recap doesn't give us all 5 kills in one, but we know that was obviously very much in favor of Evil Empire, as they completely run over Salt another day in that fight.
Is under attack.
As it just continues to look worse and worse for them. Obviously it wasn't looking too good, and then the Slardar loses his boots, then he dies, then we see a 5-man wipe, and it's just not good. It's just not good. As look at that, it gets even sharper. Keeps going steeper and steeper in favor of Evil Empire, as XPs are right around the same, and now they're going to try and claim Roche here, but there's actually a lot of heroes alive here on Salt Another Day. They've got all 5 up, as they're going to start charging down, but it's immediately drawn out on the map by Tom, and they immediately the back away. But actually Salt Another Day, they weren't coming. Uh-oh, ribs. We'll come out and place an observer ward, which is already in vision of a sentry. So Ribs will be forced to shower beard himself. In fact, he's not going to. He's going to die anyways. But we've got more action over here. As the Slaughter has gone down, and now the Alchemist. The Chemical Rage keeping his regen up, trying to keep him alive, but he will just go down. There's just too much damage coming up from Evil Empire. As now the Jug goes down, Zim's going to be the last one to fall again. As Avenge goes down, triple kill and Godlike for the Queen of Pain. As now I think they'll go for Roche, but nope, the game's just over. GG gets called. 19 minutes. Salt Another Day. Tap out of this one. GG. Good luck next.
Radiant victory.
Shine my boots, please, says Madcus. As even in whatever hell they are now. It's funny. But, 5.5k greater than 3.5k. So okay, our dire side was 3.5k. But they played all right, I think. I thought a lot of what they were doing is actually pretty good. They at least knew what they needed to do. Their execution was a little bit off. Their laning phase, obviously, it's going to be a little difficult when you're going up against players that are 2,000 MMR higher than you. We saw a very difficult lane to go up against in general with the Doom and the Lich. So obviously it's going to be a little bit difficult for the Juggernaut and the Vengeful Spirit to deal with that lane. I thought they really devoted their Dazzle to stacking in the jungle, and maybe if he had rotated up to the top lane, that would have helped them out quite a bit. Especially because we saw him miss some stacks in the jungle. If they're going to have the Dazzle in the jungle, he definitely needs to get all the stacks. We only saw him miss one, so maybe he just missed that one, and it was just a little unfortunate that I caught that on camera. But yeah, we saw him, doing that and maybe devoting a little bit more to that. He was trying to go from stacking to helping the Alk in the mid lane, who was getting completely smashed. But with the Dazzle there, I'm not really sure how much it helped the Alchemist. There was obviously an issue with the Alk just completely losing to the Queen of Pain. So, I don't know. Obviously, the Dazzle being in the mid lane wasn't helping enough. Being in the jungle didn't work out for them because Evil Empire knew exactly what was going on, made that good rotation in, stole the stack. So obviously they just needed to adapt and figure out what their opponents were doing, and we just ended up seeing Evil Empire always one step ahead. So the better team definitely won that game, but glad to see Salt another day not be salty about the fact that they lost. They were good-mannered as they bowed out and typed the GG. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'm going to throw it to music as we try and find our next game. But hopefully I won't be muted when I decide to come back and talk to you guys again. I still can't believe I did that. But yeah, I'm going to throw it to music. I'll be back in just a few as we'll try to find another game. Maybe we'll be able to follow Evil Empire, as I imagine they're probably a little bit too far ahead of everyone else, so we might have to switch games. But we'll see. I'll be back in a few.